we are asking the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces to immediately order an operation to flush out foreign troops out of our land. This is our country. We have a responsibility to protect our territorial integrity, and it cannot be that forces from Somalia can come into Kenya and occupy our land and terrorize our people. Yet the government is quiet. And you need to know, the Americans want to know why you are working with Al-Shabaab. Why, when you are in Mandera, you met 3 leaders of the Al-Shabaab militia at night to discuss business with them. They want to know why. They also want to know why you have removed the requirement for vetting of non-Kenyans before they are given IDs.
The former deputy president made a press statement while in the US imputing improper motives on the great people of Mandera and the Kenyan Somali community at large, where he claimed that during the president's visit to Mandera, the president personally met with the members of Al-Shabaab together with members of the leadership.
About 1 month ago, while in the United States, the former Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Gachagua, offered evidence to the United States Investigative Agency, the CIA, and the American Senate on an alleged secret pact between the Kenyan President William Ruto and Al-Shabaab militia. Here, Gachagua offered this evidence for America to dive into investigating Kenyan president on the alleged relationship between the president and the Al-Shabaab, together with the Sudanese militia group RSF, where Gachagua tabled evidence of an alleged meeting between Ruto and 3 Al-Shabaab leaders in Mandera. As usual, the Kenya Kwanza leaders swept in to turn this into a political fiasco, threatening to arrest Rigathi Gachagua on exposing Kenyan secrets to foreign state. But was Gachagua lying? That is the question that is currently coming to light. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua has been a voice of defection in the Kenyan politics. He has been a savior of the people of the Republic of Kenya in matters corruption and in matters government not delivering on its promise to its people. After Rigathi Gachagua's exposure, the Kenyan Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen called upon the DCI to arrest Rigathi Gachagua immediately on his return to the country from the United States over the said allegation, refuting of any involvement between the Kenyan government with the Al-Shabaab and the RSF militia, which is something that Gachagua sincerely turned down and said. They all wanted Gachagua to offer evidence into the said investigation into the said allegation that Kenya was having relationship with terror groups like Al-Shabaab. And over that, the United States had launched investigation into the country, which is something that President William Ruto has been playing at, trying to sweep in and change the narrative of the CIA looking deep into Kenyan matters. Now, as we speak, there are some certain details that are coming to light.
Security as though it's a joke, to the extent that he's talking about, he thinks that he's going to parade issues of terrorism in America for him to get votes. Your Excellency, we want to say without fear of contradiction, because he has said he has information and he knows and he has an agent who is sitting in meetings with Al-Shabaab, as soon as he lands in Kenya, he must record a statement to tell us exactly which meetings he's doing with terrorists. This country, you know.
And I can confirm that in our counties. Huge chunk of the area is now being partially controlled by Al-Shabaab. I can tell you for Mandera, Al-Shabaab presence and sightings are more than 60% of Mandera County.
A month later, after Gachagua's allegation, every detail on the said allegation are currently unfolding. On Tuesday this week, Gachagua held a sit-down interview with Citizen TV where he brought to light new damning intel that a new force is currently being groomed in Kenya. The Jubaland forces are said to have currently taken over Mandera County, turning it into their base of military operations. What does this mean for Kenya?
We are asking the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces to immediately order an operation to flush out foreign troops out of our land. This is our country. We have a responsibility to protect our territorial integrity, and it cannot be that forces from Somalia can come into Kenya and occupy our land and terrorize our people, yet the government is quiet and the leaders of Mandera are quiet. So tuambie watu ya Mandera, hata viongozi wenu wakinyamaza, sisi tuko tutatetea nyinyi, kwa sababu hatuwezi kubali muangaishwe na magaidi kutoka nchi jirani.
Less than 48 hours after Gachagua's revelation, the current Mandera governor confirmed the said allegation, where he also claimed that the Kenya Defence Forces had been given strict orders to abstain from engaging in a fight with the said militia forces. This is the clip.
Mandera cannot be turned into a battleground for Somalia. We have no interest in Somalia. The only interest we have in Somalia is peace. If they cannot peace and fight, then we have no business to involve in the internal affairs. They have opened a camp in BP1. BP1 primary school is now closed. And there are people who want to do exam in the next 1 month. How do you close a public school and turn it into a military training camp? It is impossible. So tunawaeleza immediate relocation of Jubaland force out of Mandera. Immediate. I want to tell them, if we don't do it, we will do it ourselves. Kama wanataka unasaidia peleka Somali, saidieni huko. The Somalis are flat. You cannot. Huwezi funga mashamba ya wananchi, huwezi funga shule, huwezi funga water supply, huwezi huwa watu wetu ovyo in the name of supporting a faction in Somalia. What interest do you have in Somalia?
As you can see, everything that Rigathi Gachagua recently claimed on matters Kenya being invaded by foreign forces, it's coming to light. Now the question that I've asked earlier, I shall repeat it again. What does this mean for Kenya? And why is the President of the Republic of Kenya so quiet? Why is the Kenya Defence Forces so quiet as foreign forces are currently taking over our land? We all know Mandera is one of the most porous county that we have in the country. With its bordering Somalia, Mandera is a breeding ground of militia groups. First, it was the Al-Shabaab. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua had revealed to us that President William Ruto had held a meeting with 3 Al-Shabaab groups on an issue that was then on the public limelight, where 5 Mandera governors, chiefs had been abducted. And after the said alleged meeting between President William Ruto and the said Al-Shabaab leaders, the 5 Mandera chiefs were released. Now, we all don't know how this happened because we were never told of any military operation that was conducted to have or to rescue the 5 chiefs that were released. But out of the blues, the 5 men returned home to their family safe. I asked the question, what does this mean for Kenya? If Al-Shabaab has taken over Mandera, and now Jubaland forces have taken over Mandera, as we speak, we are receiving intel that military choppers from Jubaland are currently touching down every day in Mandera, adding over military weapons. They're bringing in weaponry in Mandera, where the Jubaland forces are currently said to have taken into captivity one primary school and turned it into their base of operations. Yet, our Kenyan defense forces and our forces in the country are quiet about this. There is no military operation that is currently being carried out by the Kenyan forces to try and set these people back to their land. Is Ruto selling out Mandera County to the neighboring countries? That is the question that we should be asking. Because tell me, how on earth is a president so quiet, yet everything seems to be falling apart in this certain part of the country? Remember, Mandera is not part of Somalia, nor is Mandera part of Ethiopia nor Jubaland. Mandera is a county that belongs to the people of Kenya, and the people that live in Mandera are born and bred within the borders of Kenya. So there is no way you are going to leave these people out. Another question that comes into this matter is President William Ruto leaving out Mandera to be a base of operation of these militia groups so that he can allow invasion or people flooding the country from Somalia so that they will come in and acquire voters' ID card so that they will vote him in as the president come the year 2027. Remember, Adan Duale and President William Ruto, rumor has it that they have been grooming Somalian people who are currently coming into the country. And I have said Somalian people, Somalian citizens. I'm not speaking of our brothers and sisters who are born and bred in our country of Somalian heritage. I'm speaking about those that come from Somalia. I'm not speaking about our Somalis. I'm not speaking about our Boranas. I'm not speaking about our Gabras. No, I'm not speaking about our Cushitic groups in the country. I'm speaking about those Cushitic groups that are coming from the neighboring countries. Because for them, they come in bringing in chaos. But the question that many of you might ask, who are the Jubaland forces? Allow me to explain to you who are the Jubaland forces so that you will get to understand why this means that our country is in danger. Who are the Jubaland forces? The Jubaland Darwish started operating under the administration of Ahmed Madobe. Headquartered in Kismayo, one of its primary bases is located in Afmadu. Jubaland President Madobe has said that the forces aims to focus on counter-terrorism and provocative actors within the state of Jubaland. The Jubaland crisis. It is an ongoing crisis, which is an armed conflict in southern Somalia, stemming from constitutional dispute between the Somalian federal government, led by President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud and Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, and the semi-autonomous state of Jubaland, following Ahmed Madobe's re-election to serve for a third term as Jubaland president. Are we together? Now, when you look at this, if these people are allowed to operate in Mandera as they are operating, and you know Al-Shabaab has been an enemy of the Republic of Kenya for so long, what denies them a chance of traveling to Nairobi and conducting terror attacks on the people living in this country? It's upon time President William Ruto realizes that Kenya is a sovereign state. Kenya cannot and should never negotiate with terrorists. And that is why, regarding Gachagua's allegation and having the United States look into this matter, is something that he must be applauded for. He must